Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been quite a while since our last tutorial. Today we're gonna make a tutorial on frog skin / duck hunter camo. As you can see here, this is the finished product. There's two sides to it. If you take a look at a little bit of the history, it has been used as a battle dress uniform for small units such as in the Marines, in many combat situations, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and so on. But anyways, here's a completed product on the tan side. Today we're going to do the green side. But before we get started, just want to let you know what kind of colors we used here for the tan side. We use Rust-Oleum Satin, Warm Caramel, Rust-Oleum Camouflage, Earth Brown for the darker splotches, Rust-Oleum Primer Flat Red for more of the red areas, and the most abundant coat is the Rust-Oleum Camo Khaki. The Rust-Oleum Camo Khaki has been dusted a little bit more with the darker brown, earth brown, to make it blend in with the environment a little bit more. With that being said, let's start on the tutorial on the green side. So to get started, what you're going to want to do is tape up anything that you don't want painted, such as the optic lenses, maybe a mag catch, and under the trigger well, or the trigger hole if you would like. So I did it ahead of time, and I've taken the privilege of spray painting this base for our first coat, which is going to be our earth brown from Rust-Oleum. A pro tip is, if it's warm outside, it's good to do some spray painting outdoors just because of the warmth and the sun. When you spray down, or when you spray your spray paint onto your gun or item of choice, the heat helps kind of cure it a little bit quicker. Typically, I leave it for about 15 minutes or until it's touch dry before I go to the next one. You want to apply light layers so that way it'll look better. Otherwise, if you put too heavy of a coats in between and it's not completely cured, it can orange peel. The next step is to apply some stencils. You can get these stencils in our Etsy shop, Tactical Stencils. Typically, one sheet of this can fill one side of a standard AR. Another advantage of putting your gun or item outside to dry is it can be still pretty warm, and the vinyl actually adheres very well when the item is warm. So we'll continue on and put some vinyl on our AR. As you can see here, we pre-weeded all this stuff, so you can just use your fingers to peel it off, so it's a lot easier. Also, depending on how dark you want it, now's the time to figure out what kind of ratio you would like. Typically, I like to put some dark spots, not too much. It's usually about a quarter or less. Make sure when you're applying the stencils, make sure there's no bubbles in there. It can be kind of weird after it cures. After you're satisfied on the dark earth brown, the next thing to do is to apply the next coat, which will be our satin nutmeg. Alright, with the second layer applied, we're going to take this outside, let it dry in the sun for maybe about 15-20 minutes, and we'll be back. Alright, it's been half an hour since this thing has cured in the sun, and it's dry to the touch. So the next thing we're going to do is apply more stencils. So the stencils we apply right now will cover the tan. Okay, now that we have applied this tan stencils, we're going to put a layer of green. We're gonna let that dry, and then after that we'll put on some more stencils, and then after that the final coat. Alright, last layer of stencils. That should do it, and we're gonna put the final coat, which is Rust-Oleum's Camo Khaki. Alright, the final coat is applied. We're just gonna maybe wait 10 minutes. Alright, moment of truth, the big reveal. What you can use is also a pick. I kind of stole this from my wife since she does a lot of craft stuff. But yeah, you can use your hands, fingers too, but it just makes it slightly easier. Alright, here's the second to last step. You can see the stencils did their job. You can see in some areas of the green it ended up not adhering to the body very well. Sometimes when you mix certain brands, like this is Montana Gold with the green, with other brands like Rust-Oleum, or, well, yeah, this is Rust-Oleum too, but if you mix certain brands, sometimes it kind of tends to stick or do something funky. But overall, it seems like a pretty good pattern. It came out pretty decent, especially in the stock over there. So the last step now is to kind of dust it with a little bit of the brown. Right now it's a little bit too bright, so the dark brown will help kind of tone it down a little bit and make it look a little bit dirtier. Or you can also run it like this and run it hard until it starts fading and get, dirty. But a quick way to make it look better instantly is to use that Rust-Oleum Dark Earth Brown and do a light dusting. So you don't need too much, and you want to do it a little further away so that way you don't saturate all the brown. And there you have it. This is kind of the frog skin pattern. I would probably put a little bit more green next time, but still came out pretty decent. I still think the kind of red looks really cool back here, but that's the tutorial, guys. Hope you enjoy, and happy spray painting. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I'll try to put some more camo patterns out in the near future, and happy spray painting.